Hi guys, this is Natasha, aka Natty Willie from the Nerd Element, and I am here at AwesomeCon with Brimstone.
Where's that voice coming from?
I have no idea. It's coming from behind the camera. Yeah.
All right, well, I'm here, so I might as well talk. Might as well talk. So, hey, how are you? It's a pleasure to be here with you.
And you're a fan of Disney, so what's your favorite song?
Oh, my favorite song? A Whole New World is one of my favorites. Gotta love that one. Didn't we sing that?
Yeah, we tried to sing it at Great Philadelphia Comic-Con, and Roger Cross was looking at us like a little bit of crazy, but he actually attempted to sing with us, so
really?
Yeah.
I don't even remember that. I guess.
You were so into the music.
Yes. That's the guy who was sitting next to me from
yes.
Sci-Fi.
Dark Matter, yeah.
Yes, Dark Matter. Okay, yes. Hey, nice guy. So, I can show you the world, shining, shimmering, splendid. Tell me, Natty, now when did you last let your heart decide? See, I'll sing a little bit. We sang a duet, but
I may show it in the.
Show it at the end.
Yeah, show it at the end.
It would have been better, but she didn't play along when we sang it.
Yeah, it was really awkward. So Brimstone, you have your own comic. So can you tell us about your comic?
Brimstone and the Borderhounds is based on my former wrestling persona. It has nothing to do with wrestling whatsoever. Pretty much, Brimstone and his crew of Borderhounds are Hell's version of the Border Patrol. They're not meant to keep people out. They're meant to keep people in. There's a whole big overview of the book that I just don't want to waste your time with unless you want to hear it. And if you don't, I'm cool with that. But you can check it out online at houndcomics.com and entrancetohell.com, which is my official website. I'm a nice guy. It's just a gimmick.
Now, you own your company, was it Hound Entertainment?
Hound Comics Inc. Hound Entertainment Group, correct.
Now, how did you create that? Did you have the comic in mind when you created the company, or was it just something that just popped in your head?
My whole thing with Hound Comics, first I started with Brimstone and the Borderhounds, and I was like, well, I was reaching out to a couple different publishers, and I had an opportunity with Marvel, which I passed on, it was, and that was a long time ago. That was before the comic was even ready to go. Bob Saboni over there, I don't know if he's there anymore, but him and I had spoken about maybe doing something with their small piece of the creator-owned stuff that they had there, which I never thought existed at Marvel. And apparently, they did have a small, grouping of books that they did, although Disney had bought them out not long after, so it wouldn't have worked for me anyhow. So what do you call it? I put it out independently because the publishing companies that I was dealing with, I wasn't necessarily crazy about any of the ones I was talking to, or what they had to offer me. So, I figured I'll just put out the book itself, and I'll publish it, and I'll do my thing and do me. So, I launched it in Borders Books on October 31st, 2010, and shortly after that, I started doing events again and started signing and getting the book out there. Then I was, happened to be with friends like Peter and Angie Mayhew, Chewbacca from Star Wars, other people I know from Nickelodeon and from Disney and so forth, and they were like, well, we love what you're doing with your stuff. You think you might be able to publish our books too? I said, well, sounds interesting, why not? I said, I think it might be about that time to incorporate. So I incorporated Hound Comics Inc. And it was just the comic company at that point. And I had Peter's books on. I had other people from Disney, from Nickelodeon, and so forth. And I was getting a lot of other celebrities that wanted to kind of get in on that bandwagon, I guess you'd say. And then I started bringing in more newer books, to build the comic repertoire. And since Peter and Angie's book was a kid's book, and I was launching the Border Pups, which was the the kid version of the Borderhounds. Okay. I started. We opened up Hound Kids, so it was like a constant growth. You know what I mean? So Hound Kids came from Hound Comics came from me dealing with everybody else, and then Hound Kids came from from that, and then people said, well, can you do books? I said, well, I guess so. So that's where Hound Publishing came from. I'm giving you the short, even though it seems long. Trust me. And then after that, we expanded to Hound Entertainment, and I represent friends of mine for licensing and stuff that I already have, and that's where it all went. That's where it all happened. So yeah, it was 2010 is when we launched. I relaunched in, like I said, because Borders was going out of business. I didn't say that. Barnes & Noble, I launched in Barnes & Noble worldwide January 11th, 2011. So I relaunched the book. And yeah, that's right after that everything happened. It was crazy. So yeah.
So you're busy being a CEO of Hounds Entertainment, but you also podcast, with the radio show. So can you tell us about your radio show?
It's it's radio show podcast. You know what I mean? I guess you can kind of link it all together. It's called the Grindhouse Radio. It's a pop culture show. We are syndicated on 17 networks nationally, internationally, and so forth, including iHeartRadio. We're getting between 3 million, 4 million listeners weekly worldwide, which is fantastic. Thank you guys for listening. It's just awesome. First we started out as an hour, then we built up to 2 hours when we went to iHeart, and now we weren't doing any kind of guests, even though I had friends out the wazoo who wanted to come on the show. I was like, we're not ready yet, and when we went to 2 hours, I said, well, let's bring our first guest on. It was my good friend Kim Leemans, who was from America's Next Top Model, and I'm the one that gave her a goodbye party when she went from New York to LA. And she called me up. She goes, Brim, I'm on The Walking Dead, and I was like, what? So I said, I'm going to be the one to break your media cherry, and she goes, I'm in. So she was actually our first quote-unquote interview, even though we don't do interviews on the show. We did Kiss, Marry, Kill to keep it fun and interesting, and that's what we do on the show now. So we do Kiss, Marry, Kills, and Would You Rathers and Have You Evers, for when the guests come on, which is a lot of fun because I've been in the hot seat since I was little. I was on Sesame Street Romper Room, and being in the industry for so long, you get asked the same questions time and time and time again. So I figured, you know what? I'm going to do something different, and that's what I did. What do you call it? So now, where we had just one guest at a time, then we went to 2 guests, and now we're at 3 guests, and I can't do more than 3 guests to the show. It gets, but yeah.
It gets hard to schedule, doesn't it?
Well, because everybody, knock on wood, people want to be on the show.
Right.
So, I'll reach out to, because look, everybody in it, we all have crazy schedules. So we're in, we're out, we're left, we're right, we're this way, that way. So for me to reach out to a couple people just to get 1-2 people on the show, I'll reach out to 10, and just to make sure we have that, I have it out there so I have people on. And I reach out to 10, I get 20 different people calling me back, and everybody wants to schedule, and now I have to sit, and I'm scheduled for about 2 months ahead right now. I'm finally coming close to the time I gotta start rescheduling again. But it's good because, people want to be on it, and that makes me happy.
So even though you've created, Brimstone and the Hounds, like the comic, how involved are you now with writing the comic versus, you're doing your traveling, you're doing the podcast, you're the CEO of the company, so how do you balance all of that?
It's very difficult. I'm a father and a husband.
Yeah, so, exactly. You're a family man.
I'm a family man. It is very difficult. Right now I have, at the beginning, I didn't write the books because I didn't know how to write a comic book. I wanted to learn. So a good friend of mine, Marcello Carnevale, who was a partner of mine in Hound, he since went, a different way. We're still good friends. He just wanted to do some other stuff. He started writing the books, and I said, hey, look, I wanna learn how to do it. And obviously, I had my 2 cents in all the comics up until the point where I finally decided I'm gonna write an issue. So at issue 6, I took the reins and I wrote the whole thing myself. And awesome enough, a lot of people. It's one of the people's favorite issues. And I've done a bunch of spin-off books. I've done Luscious. I've done Standalone. I've done the Critical Mass Standalone with all the characters from the universe, from the Hound universe. I wrote issue 9. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of fun, but to write them all the time, it gets tough. It does get tough because I like to start with an idea and then kind of roll with it and see where it goes, and then go back and fix. And everybody has a different way of writing. So for me, it works best for me when I'm at home, sitting and just hanging out with my family, and the idea comes, and I just start jotting it down on my phone, and then I'll put it down, and then I'll have have it in my head and kind of just formulate where I want it, you know, to go from this, you know, idea. I kind of do it very similar to the way a wrestling match is put together, believe it or not. In a wrestling match, most people like to think that it's all planned out. You know, people that work with each other all the time have their routines, but you always have a beginning, you have a middle, and you have an end. So you want to know, you know, at the beginning, because you tell a story in the ring. So it's the same thing when you're writing a comic book. You know, I feel you need a beginning, a middle, and an end. So you know, you then have to take people through peaks and valleys. So I always have, you know, an idea which will start. You know, either this is where it's going to come from, or this is where it's going to finish. You know, and this is what should happen in the middle, and then I kind of go in and tweak everything until that, you know, point is right. Hope I'm making sense to you.
Yeah,
I'm a little tired.
You know, it's Sunday. No. Now, you are a Walking Dead fan.
Love Walking Dead.
And so you're caught up with the show, correct?
Yes.
So who do you think got bashed with Negan's bat?
Do I have to answer that question? I don't want to say it because I know the answer.
Okay. When you first saw it,
yes.
Who did you think?
I'll tell you who I would feel that fans would get the idea of who it could be. People are thinking it would either be Daryl, Glenn, Aaron, or what do you call it? Or oh my God, I can't believe
Abraham. Sasha.
Abraham and or what do you call it?
Eugene.
Thank you, Eugene. I don't think it's Aaron. Or at that point, I didn't think it was Aaron. What do you call it? Honestly, Eugene kind of came to the end of his rope. Abraham dodged a bullet because in the comics, if you read the comics, he's the one that should have gotten taken out through, through the eye.
Yep.
Abraham
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, well, but Abraham is a very popular character, you know, and he's still kind of fresh with the series. You know, Norman, everybody's, you know, they know that Norman is doing his new motorcycle series, so everybody and filming. So what do you call? Everybody's speculating that he's the one that goes, and Glenn, well, you know, everybody knows that he's the one in the comic.
Yep,
so,
exactly.
you know, these are the speculations. Aaron, I don't know why anybody thought that Aaron would be one getting it, but
I mean, it has to be someone that we care about and have the most impact.
I believe so, but you know what? At this point, people are invested in all the characters, no matter.
Yeah.
You know. And it's all different, you know. But I feel that the fans will be, they're going to be sad when they find out who it is and what happened. But I also feel that it's going to be, you know, fulfilling, you know, the way they've come back. You know, the new season. I feel it's going to be very fulfilling for them. So hopefully that's a good enough answer for you.
Yeah, no, that's pretty good. So thank you, Brimstone, for talking with me.
I still don't know who I'm talking to. I just hear a voice. But,
yeah, you're talking to a camera that has a voice and wants to talk to you.
That's pretty cool. It could do a dance.
Yeah, you could do.
So yeah, no, that's awesome. I appreciate you having me, and you know, hopefully everybody will enjoy what they've heard and check me out online. I'm sorry, I'm a little tired today, but I'm trying to give you everything.
Everything.
Check me out online, entrancetohell.com. If you're on Twitter @entrancetohell, it's just a gimmick. I'm a nice guy. On Instagram @TheRealBrimstone, and Facebook /Brimstone. Yeah, like me, follow me, talk to me, make me feel loved.
I'm sure you're loved, Brimstone. Thanks.